Hi, everybody. Well, are you feeling it? Are you feeling this energy that's in the sky right now? Hi, this is Thomas Miller from the Fun Astrology Podcast, and I'm recording this on 9/11 on Wednesday after having had several conversations and realizing that there is some thick, heavy energy in the sky right now. So let's talk about it. Here's the aspect. We have in one corner the sun. That's our life force. That's the essence of you and me. And then we have Jupiter, Lord Jupiter, up at the top of this pyramid, as you can see, and it's in the sign of Gemini. And then we have over here Saturn, Lord Karma, and as you can see, just drawing this configuration, it looks like a pyramid. That's called a T-square, but basically each one of these aspects are the negative aspects in astrology. These are squares, and this is an opposition. That means that there's built-in tension to this whole configuration. That means there's a mountain to climb, a hurdle to clear. So as we pick this apart, let me start up here with Jupiter in the sign of Gemini. Gemini, look at the symbol of it. It's the Roman numeral 2, if you will, representing twins, representing more than one, representing, let me put it in the terms of this week, the devil on one shoulder and the angel on another shoulder. Which one is whispering in your ear, or which one are you looking toward? You have the choice, but there's two. There are two plural voices going on right now. Gemini is, Robert likes to say, a divided sign. So with that, and it's also a mutable sign, and mutables can mess with our head. And I'm a Gemini rising, so I mean, don't go getting off on Gemini. I am one, big time. But we're talking about a division of our thoughts right now. The sun, our essence, who you and I are, it's me. It's the me. When I get alone by myself, it's me, all by myself, right? That's the sun. Brings it right home. Sun is in Virgo. What is one of the great characteristics about Virgo? It wants organization, wants everything in order. What's one of the great not characteristics of Virgo? Not great characteristics. When it doesn't achieve that order, it gets critical. That's its way of lashing out. The Scorpio lashes out with the tail, right? Pow! Oh, how'd you like that? You want more? You know, and the Virgo is critical. So right now, you can see already that we have this built-in tension of self-criticism. Saturn is all about delays, death, dour, destruction. Those are all the negative characteristics of Saturn. It's the thing that slows us down. Jupiter wants to run. It's at the top of the pyramid. Hey, this is my pyramid. Saturn just pulling on it. Whoa. So here's the division again. You want to go, but you are being held back by Saturn. Now, there's a positive side to Saturn, and that is that everything that you create under this aspect and climb these mountains and clear these hurdles, Saturn will make it last for a long, long time. So what you do productively here is not going to be gone tomorrow. That's the good part, but you have to clear the hurdle. Now, Saturn and Jupiter are in a wide square right now, but over the next year and into early next year, let's say February, March, Saturn and Jupiter are going to be locked in this square. Now, let me show you why that's important. Now we're going back to December of 2020. And notice, Saturn and Jupiter, not in a square, they're together in a conjunction. And this was part of two aspects involving Saturn. I'll show you the other one in just a second. In 2020, that have started this new cycle. This is a 20-year cycle. Saturn and Jupiter, 20-year cycle. So basically 2020, 2000, keep on going back, 1980, 1960. And the 20-year cycle, obviously, as these two separated from this point in December of 2020, the first aspect was a sextile. That's a positive. The next aspect is what we have now. It's a square. That's tense. The next aspect will be a trine. That's positive. The next one after that will be when they're across from each other in opposition. That's tense. So we roll through these cycles of moving toward positivity and then away from it toward tension. Away from the tension, which we will start on Thursday, because these will start to separate again very slowly, but then we'll be moving more toward positive in a couple of years. So this, though, is a big, massive 20-year cycle. It affects the mundane. It also affects the financial markets. And a lot shifted, as you know, in the year 2020. And here's the other big one. This was January of 2020, so we have one at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year. This is the 250-year cycle of Saturn and Pluto conjoining in the sky January 12th, 2020. And this was in the sign of Capricorn, which is Saturn's home turf. And 8 days after this is when the first COVID case was reported in the United States. This is the aspect that I've traced back. In 1284, when this aspect appeared, we bridged from the Dark Ages to the Italian Renaissance. In the 1518 aspect, we bridged from Vatican control and corruption in Italy to the Crown and to London. And over the next 250 years, the sun never set on the British Empire. That configuration, that handoff, if you will, 1584, began the Protestant Reformation. No longer did the Catholic Church have a chokehold on everybody's lives. And from that, it passed to the sun never set. The British Empire expanded, and it corrupted. In the 1770s, Pluto was in Capricorn, and the colonists came over here, rebelled against the king, dumped his tea in the harbor, started a war over that because they weren't going to subscribe to these oppressive policies anymore. And 250 years after that, here we are today. Boom. So there's what's going on from a big macro perspective. You have to realize all the time that we are in an era now of changing times. This one, the big one, the 250-year cycle. The one from December, the 20-year cycle. And then we're back to today. This hit me hard on Monday, and I had to stop and think about, wow, what is going on? And then in the last 2 days, I've been talking about, I'm recording this on Wednesday, 9/11, but the exact aspect is early Thursday morning, September 12th. And I had to look back and think about, and then I actually started hearing from friends who were saying, I'm feeling this anxiety, I'm feeling this depression, I'm feeling like all of the things we talked about in the beginning, that things just aren't right. So we have to remember that this is a T-square of the mind. It's, first of all, it's kind of, because Jupiter is up here at the top, it's controlled by that sign. Gemini is immutable, Virgo is immutable, Pisces is immutable. That can tip us into how we process things psychologically. So this is a time, I've been struggling this week. I got to tell you, I've been struggling this week like I probably haven't in a long time. But the solution through this is to hold our space and realize this too shall pass, because the exact aspect is Thursday on the 12th. And then after this clears, we're going to be in a lot better position as this aspect starts to move away. Now, the Saturn-Jupiter, like I said, is going to be with us because of the retrogrades all the way into next spring, so it's not going to go away. And then what's coming on top of this is we have that phenomenon called the moon wobble, because in 2 weeks, these two are going to be together, so we're in the bandwidth of that. I've already recorded a couple of the podcasts for the rest of the week, and on Friday I talk about just a few miles from here, well, enough, not that many, I mean far enough, there are several wildfires burning, and thousands of people displaced, cannot go back to their homes. Fortunately, not a lot of homes have been destroyed, but there are 40,000 homes in the scope of the fire right now. That's the stuff of a moon wobble. And so we're under that. And so there's a wonkiness feeling about that. And then today, as I'm recording this on Wednesday, the moon is, let's see, it is still, actually, let me just go ahead and back this up. Stand by just 1 second. We'll get this. Yeah, we're right at the end of Sagittarius. And as the moon enters Capricorn, that brings a heavier lunar characteristic to the next couple of days. Wednesday, well, almost finished. Thursday, Friday, the moon is in Capricorn. So it's going to be heavier. And then on Tuesday of next week is the full moon, which is also the lunar eclipse. So we're going to have just a lot of, see, the moon will move all the way over to here, basically. It'd be in 25 Pisces. So the moon will be here by Tuesday, and it will be, the sun will be at 25. So there's the opposition for the full moon and the eclipse. So that's a lot of energy, folks. That is a lot of energy. Now, this has been hitting hard. I'm going to tell you straight up, I have even been questioning my own work this week. Like, am I crazy to be talking about all this woo-woo stuff? It's that serious. That's the nature of a mutable conflict. So look, there is a big aspect coming on Sunday. I didn't show it, but I want to talk about it, and that is Jupiter at the top of that pyramid is going to be in a really positive aspect with Venus. So the two benefic planets on Sunday are going to be very positive. So as the negative that we showed you crescendos on Thursday, that starts to fade and the positive starts to grow. That can help also offset, I hope, that full moon and that eclipse wonkiness that we're also exposed to. So I just say we have to keep working through this from a perspective of self-care, number one, step away from what you can, number two, and realize you've got a devil over here and an angel over here. And they're going to be crisscrossing each other as far as who's stronger. The devil's yelling pretty loud right now. The angel voice is going to get louder as the devil's get softer. So you can look on both shoulders and you choose which one you're going to follow. They're both there, and you can lock on to both. And then just, like my friend Chet says, pop some popcorn to watch the rest of. Step back away from it. That's the best thing we can do right now. This too shall pass. It's not going to be here forever. And then we'll deal with the next thing as it comes up down the road. But the positive is coming on Sunday. Focus on that. The angel over here. And we'll go that route. I hope that helps you get through. We'll be on the podcasts. We'll do video updates if we need to. Sending lots of love.